Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS. So I'm not going to say who this person is, but this morning has already stressed me out, okay?
Why?
There's somebody, I'm not going to say who this person is, but they're related to me. Anyway, so there's somebody in my family, and I know what's going on because, whenever I lived in Oklahoma, I would get my hair done. And I know not Oklahoma
I
people.
know exactly where this is going.
I know not all Oklahoma people do this, but the person that did my hair back in the day, they would just, every time I go in, it was highlight after highlight after highlight. And it was like a bleached, not a beach well, a bleach well. It's like so bleached. My hair was so unhealthy. And then I moved to Dallas. I started putting my hair as a top priority because I realized, especially for me, I only get highlights twice a year. My hair is blonde, but maybe 3 times a year. But a lot of my color is my base color, right? I have some grays. I now realize you don't have to do highlights every time. You can do a great base color. This is for people listening who maybe is like this person I'm talking about, who I've been very subtly trying to be like, go to my person, you should go to my person.
How subtly are you saying this?
Well,
let's pretend like I'm that person. What are you saying to me?
I'm just like, so I say, have you ever thought about going to my person for your hair?
Have you ever thought
my
about going?
person does a great job on my hair. Your person's hard to get into because her person only works once or twice a month, which should also tell you something too, right? I'm sorry.
They're not perfecting their craft.
If their wait list isn't long enough for them to actually do this at a normal pace, then that's a problem. Anyway, so today, I have a funeral I have to go to, okay? And the past 2 weeks have been crazy. I had multiple family members in the hospital, and one of them ended up passing, and the funeral is in Oklahoma. So I'm going to this funeral, and this person was talking about, I was trying to talk about my plans and what's going on, and this person was saying how, she was going to, get together later, that she wanted me to help her with something, but she had an appointment on Tuesday that she could not cancel. And I said, what is this appointment you speak of? Because it's supposed to be freezing in Dallas. I'd like to get, and also I never see my grandparents, and I want to get home to Oklahoma. So then she says, oh, well, I have a hair appointment on Sunday. And I said, that is not an emergency. First of all, try to.
Now, let me tell you, if I ever told Stephanie that her hair appointment was not an emergency, she prioritizes her week around her hair appointments.
I know, but again, my guy does a good job, right? So I said, listen, you should try to reschedule for earlier. And I said, or go to my guy. I promise you, I don't think your hair is in the healthiest state. It could be. And my guy's really good. He will help you. I feel when I tell you, I don't know if this is how bad it is. I don't know if she gets haircuts or if her hair is breaking off. That is how
Does
bad.
This person listen to the podcast?
No, but her husband does. So he knows. Anyway, I am trying to do the Lord's work here. So, I don't know, but it stresses. Have you ever met somebody whose hair stresses you out? It really, every time I see her, I'm like, ugh.
I have, and it's the same person you're talking about.
Yes. So you can't even say I'm being rude. I feel I'm honestly not being a good person by not being like, girl, your hair's going to fall out. It is so damaged.
Well, this is not Stephanie's first attempt. She called me, 3 or 4 weeks ago, very defeated, and was like, I tried to stage an intervention, and it didn't work.
Because nobody would go there with me. I cannot be the only one.
Well, because she doesn't want to be the bad guy. She just wants to facilitate the conversation and let someone else say it. But it's one of those conversations where, especially with girl to girl, I feel like you'd have that conversation. Yeah. If her husband said something, he'd end up dead.
So,
right?
But here's the deal. Everybody talks about it. But nope, never to her. So finally today I was like, listen, I feel like your hair could be healthier. You should go. She was like, well, I don't know. I just, anyways, I get it.
What do we think the problem is here? Do we think that it's that your guy's too expensive? Do we think that she just really likes her hair? Or she likes her hair person?
Well,
she doesn't want change?
I don't think my guy, because I don't go to the same I go to different people, one for highlights, one for color. But my other family member, okay, I have a cousin, and she moved here from Oklahoma, kind of the same thing. Where, she moved, like, whenever she was in Oklahoma, I think they just bleach your hair, right? And then she started going to some people in Dallas. I think there were referrals, not by me, obviously. And they were kind of doing, and I get it, like, people listening who are hairstylists, I guess when people go in and that's all they know is bleach, then you're going to do the same thing, right? But her hair started breaking off, right? And one of the people she went to is this person I'm telling you about that I really want them to go somewhere else to get their hair done because it stresses me out, had her go. And I told her, I said, girl, have you seen her hair? Like, you decided to take that referral. Like, I've been trying to get her to switch for like a year now. Like, sometimes that's like somebody's nails falling off and then you go into their nail person. Like, what in the world is wrong? So anyway, so now she's gone to my guy for like a year and her hair has never looked better.
Your cousin?
Yes, my cousin. So I had her.
Her hair does look really good.
It looks amazing, right? It looks like so good. But he has her on a very strict. And I mean, he said when she came in, he was nervous because her hair was just so damaged. But bleach is like really damaging, though. Really, it really is. Especially if you just every time you go in, you're bleaching the crap out of it. So anyway, we'll see.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna like pray that she eventually goes, you know what? Somebody told me who was also really close to this thing, but I can't say who it is because then he will get mad at me. He said I should just do a whole a whole
makeover day?
Like makeover day.
I don't know if that would go over well.
And just be like, surprise her. And then like, I thought about doing it for Christmas, just like, hey,
now, I do think maybe just giving that person a gift card to your hairstylist is a good idea.
That would be real. Okay, you know what?
Because then, like...
her birthday is coming up. See, now people are going to... I'm not going to say exactly the day, but it's coming up.
Okay.
And I could give her a gift card for... That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give her... That way she's like, well, crap, if I don't use it, I lose it. I'm going to give her a gift card.
Make it like...
I'll make it enough to where she can actually...
2 visits.
Okay.
Make it enough to where she can't just go once. It's like, well, this is a lot of money. I need to like use this.
Yes. I'll be like, girl. And I feel like she needs 2 times to really change her life. But not a lot of people I care about. I mean, this is really me caring about somebody too. Like, if I did not like you, I would not care about your hair. But Trey knows because I called him the day after he saw this person. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. And then
it really ruined her day.
I was like, oh my God. Every time I see her, I just feel like her hair is gonna like one bleach away from falling out. And it almost like is a mullet looking because it's like shorter in front and longer in the back. And I don't think it's a haircut. I think if it is a haircut, that lady's like chopping off the broken moth pieces that I don't know. It just stresses me out. And I know people listening are like, I don't care. But I promise you, if you had to see it every day, you would care. I would like to be around this person and not feel like I'm judging them the whole time on their head of hair. But I do. I mean, I've even thought about like, hey, maybe I can get her some extensions. But then I'm like, no, that hair cannot handle any extensions. We got to healthy it up first. And the thing is she looks so good with dark hair. She should really be dark haired, like really. But for some reason, she wants to have this like little white ball of. I mean, there's no color left in this hair. I mean, it is just bleach. It is one.
Stephanie lives and dies by her hair schedule. Like when she's gone too long, what she misses most is not her dogs, not her bed. It's her hairstylist.
No, I even told.
And she races there.
No, the people and like our friends in Montana were like, "Oh, would you spend the whole summer here?" I was like, "Yes, but I would go home every 3 to 4 weeks to get my hair done because I'm very picky with my hair. People, if I go to you for hair, you know that I think you're good because I really am picky, very, very picky. So anyway, that was this morning. I was trying to get her to switch, and then she said, "I'm gonna stick where I am," and I said. Ooh. This person's not your friend. I don't know if she's going to this person because they're her friend, but I was like, this person, if friends do not let friends' hair look like this. Like, this is not your friend. But it's okay. You're right. For her birthday, I'm going to get her a
gift card to where it's almost like too much money for her to just ignore the gift card.
Yeah, but I almost think it may be her fault too. I think she's going in and telling this person
Probably.
just highlight, and I just want maybe I call this person and be like, hey, I need you to just do her face for a little
call
bit,
them
like
and threaten
no
them.
more than 3 highlights a year. This is not okay. Oh my goodness!
I
Yeah.
feel like there's like this like small town special amongst hairstylists. They just all do the same thing.
Yeah, I remember whenever I went to Tulsa, they would do this thing called break the base. And I did not know. I'm like, this is so weird. I did not know that you could do like a base haircut because everybody there, it was like highlights and then you would go in and break the bases, which is kind of where they just kind of put almost like bleach on your roots to lighten your roots up to match your really bleachy blonde hair. My hair was so bleachy when I first met Travis. And
why would you ever bleach your roots?
well, I think it's just a kind of because I had darker hair and I had highlights. But now I've realized if you have dark, I actually love being like, I call it like a rooted blonde. I like having darker roots and then just like see how my hair gets blonder I like that better. And it's so much healthier.
But if you bleach your roots, doesn't it kind of make your hair look thinner?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that I was.
This person stresses you out.
Yes. And also she says she does it because she has some grays coming in. And I'm like, girl, then you should just do a base color. Because I have grays coming in. I do a base color. Anyways, but pray for me, people. If you are a believer, I need a weekly dose of BS prayer chain
around
where
this
we are
person's hair.
Around her hair. This has been a year plus, and I kept it to myself. And then I called Trey, and I was like, I'm stressed out. And he said, "Is it about so and so's hair?" And I said, "Okay, now I can be honest."
Because I saw this person the day before, and I knew it bothered her because she kept just like looking at it. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. In 2025, maybe you're ready for a plot twist, or maybe there's a part of your story that you've been wanting to revise. Life isn't all about resolutions that fade by February. It's about picking up the pen and becoming the author of your own life. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create a meaningful story that you deserve to live.
Oh, yes. You know what? That's something that I want to do. I was thinking about like New Year's resolutions. I don't like New Year's resolutions because, let's be honest, I never stick with them. But what I would like to do this year is just like really like, start like a gratitude journal. So, like writing down things that I'm grateful for, because I can be kind of that person who's like glass is a little empty, and instead of looking at how full my life is. And also just all this stuff going on in the world can be really depressing. So this year I have watched less news so far. That's my thing, because I was realizing also I would get on and I would kind of marinate in like horrible things going on in the world and people around us. And then I am an empath, so then I would take it on myself. But I just want to like focus more on the good and less on all the chaos around. Because there's so much good around. And I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in like what's going wrong in our life that we forget what's going right.
Well, and you just touched on it, but I know something you learned in therapy was that you're such an empath. And being an empath, you kind of sponge other people's problems or the world's problems and take them on as your own. And when that sponge gets full, what do you that's where you have to wring it out and say, okay, no, this isn't necessarily my life. And you've learned ways to cope with that. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable, convenient, and serving over 5 million people worldwide. You have access to a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. It's easy to switch therapists at any time with no additional cost, just in case you don't like yours.
Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/weeklydose today to get 10% off of your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/weeklydose. Oh my gosh. I was like, yes. I mean, that, and sometimes she looks like Tan Mom. I don't know. Like,
So what if you just like called her and said like, hey, your hair stresses me out. Can I fix it, please?
So no, I can't. I mean, I've tried to say it
How
every
would they
which
receive
way.
that?
I think I don't know. They'd probably feel judged, which is why I'm just going to get her a gift certificate. You're right. Her birthday's coming up. Her birthday's like in very soon. I mean, like within the month. It's fine. That's what I'm going to do. But everybody who watches this, who knows this person, knows who I'm talking about.
I don't think anyone listening to this doesn't connect the dots.
I post a picture of them in the next few weeks, please do not. Like,
maybe that's what you should do, though.
On that picture, this is the girl. You'll know when you see it. But
just like amongst us girlfriends,
yes,
just post that picture and you'll be like,
You'll know. Yes. Yep. You'll know. So anyways, that was my morning. I was just like, the things that stress me out. I'm like, oh, goodness. But you know what? I'm going to fix it. You're right. So that's my morning. I don't know how this is such a long conversation.
I think you can do it.
I know I can. I just have to make sure that I don't, hurt somebody. I don't want to.
How would you feel though if someone came to you and said, "Hey, your hair, can I send you to my person to have that handled?" How would you feel?
It depends. I mean, I would be like, if you pay for it, please. Yeah. I mean, if somebody gave me a really good recommendation, I would be like, oh, yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you. Yes. Like, oh, your spray tan, I feel like it could be better. I have this person. I would be like, thank you. I actually probably agree with you. Yeah.
I'm a big believer in, like, if you can't fix something in 5 seconds, don't call it out for someone. Like, if they're.
Well, no, that's why I have to, like, sneakily try to get her to go to my person.
Yeah.
Which is but it's been a year and this person still hasn't done it. So at some point, I've just got to be like, so maybe I shouldn't call it out. Maybe I should just be like, not get her a gift certificate and just say.
I think the gift card's like subtle.
Okay. And just like hope. But my whole thing is I'm scared that her hair's going to fall out. It's becoming that bad. So anyways, I don't know.
I think if anyone on this earth could say something to this person, it would be you. They'll probably receive it worse from you, but it could only come from you. There is literally no one else that can say this.
Yeah, okay. I'll work on it, maybe.
Like, who else would be able to say this?
I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe
she might run you over with her car, but I think that's just.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. But oh my goodness, yes. So if this person's hair starts looking mysteriously better in the next 6 months, you know that I got her a real good gift card.
It worked.
But yeah. So anyways, but that's like when I love somebody. Like if I didn't like this person, I would be like, oh, you just
be like good.
I'd be like, yeah. But whenever I love somebody, it really does. I'm like, oh, things that I think are so easily fixed drive me crazy. Yeah.
So we have this Montana trip coming up.
Yes.
With the moms and the gays. The gays mad at you.
Yes, y'all.
I've had more gays drop out.
Yes.
Of this trip, and I'm like, how? You've known about this trip? I would say half my gay group dropped out. We've backfilled a little bit.
Yes. Listen, and I'm a petty girl. If I invite you once and you drop out, you probably won't be invited back.
I'm a petty girl too. I'm a petty girl too.
And if you're listening, the people that dropped out, I had to pay for a secondary house for your anus. Like, that's what I was pissed off about. I was like, wait, they could have told me this like a month ago, because I'm not joking. During New Year, I got an email saying that I had to pay the 80% left on that rental property, and I put my credit card down, and it's all paid for. So I could not back out. So we are not in a good place.
But I think we've refilled. I think we've got it handled.
We're good.
I'm excited to ski again.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to ski with you.
I'm not excited for that.
We're going to do night skiing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think night skiing is going to be where it's at, even for you, because it's bright. People think night skiing is going to be like real dark and you're just skiing in the black. But no, it's like, it's bright.
Very
like
bright.
It's really bright. It's cheap. It's like, I think $20-$30. And there's really nobody out there. So I think it's a great way for like newer skiers, at least in Whitefish, to really like hone in on their craft. Because there's nothing, I remember being a new skier, and you know what stressed me out whenever I was taking ski lessons are the people coming up behind me. Like I could hear people behind me. Can you hear people? Like, are you so aware of everything around you? Or are you like that fool that's a new skier and listens to music?
No, I don't listen to music.
Okay.
But I was talking to someone about this yesterday. They went snowboarding for the first time. I was like, did you hate it? And they were like, yeah, absolutely hated it. And they said the same thing, that they're worried that like someone behind him's going to hit him or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wasn't worried about that. And I was like, I was more like a runaway train, and it was their job to move, not mine, because I don't know where I'm going.
Yes.
So I'm more concerned for the other people getting out of my way.
That makes sense, yes. But for me, I was always really nervous. I think because I was so unpredictable and not a great, like I knew that I was not good at all, and I could not move out of people. I could not like weave around people. That I felt the same way with others. But as somebody who's been skiing for a while, you are new, and yes, we can work around you. When I see somebody like what I think you're going to be like on the mountain, I do two things. I do one of two things. Either A, I will stand there for like 2 minutes and let you go down a little bit further so I'm far enough away from you as possible, because I also don't like being right behind somebody and then just going really slow. Or I will ski all the way over to the other side of the hill, and then I will just get as far away from you as possible. Like if there's somebody who's really, really new and I can tell is like a Bambi legs on skis, I try to stay out of their way. So that's all I have to say to you, Trey, is they're not wanting to be right next to you because they're going to want to give you your space to learn.
Do that.
Yes, because, it's easy to, like, run into people when you're brand new. But I know I'm excited to see you ski. I've never seen you ski. I saw a video. And you know what I think? I think that I'm going to ski with you because I think you get so nervous because that video I've seen of you, and you did this the first time we went skiing together, whenever like season 2 of Housewives, I took you very graciously up the mountain and to teach you. And
a little bit. We went to the south of France. She had, the French Alps. She had a partnership with France, just France, and went to this new resort, and I had never skied before. And this thing, it was like all inclusive as far as like the ski goes. So they had like ski school, they had lockers there, they had everything. Like they just fit you and you went down it was great. And so I did like the little bunny slope, like, I don't know, 6 times.
He was so good at it.
She was like, you are nailing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And so she was like, come down the big slope with me. And I was like, okay. And I went down what I think was a blue. And we were not very far. It was from like the resort to the bottom.
I think it was honestly a green, but when you're new, it feels like a blue.
It wasn't far at all. And I didn't do as amazing as I was just doing on the bunny slopes. And so I got down to the bottom, and it was a trip to the bottom. It wasn't very far, but it took me a minute. And she was like, all right, just take this elevator lift thing back up to the resort. You're good to go. The elevator little thing did not go back to the resort. It went to the very top of the mountain, which is a black. And then I sidestepped down that mountain for 3 hours.
It was not a black. It was honestly, that one, I'd never been on the mountain before. Maybe it was a blue. I don't know. All I know is it was one of the easier trails, but whenever you're new, easy things can feel hard. For example, outside my backyard is a green. Trey believes it's a black. So that shows you
it's green black.
What his believability is when it's a green. But it's like it's a tougher green, right? It is. But it's in no way a blue or a black. It's not even like an easy blue. It is a green. It's a hard green, right? But I think when Trey gets nervous, I've noticed this about you. Which is so weird because this is not how you are in real life. And you, out of all the guys, I will tell you, Zach and all of his friends, they wanted to go on a blue. They asked me. I actually was like, they wanted to go on a blue. And when I say it was raining men down that mountain, they were falling all down that. They kept getting up and trying. Trey knows his limitations with his sports.
That's right.
And so instead of trying, if he gets nervous, he will stop and he will sidestep the entire mountain.
Yeah.
Now that's funny for like 2 minutes until you realize you have to stand and wait for him to sidestep to you. So my kids and I thought it was so funny until 30 minutes later, he was barely down the mountain. Who helped you? Was it Cruz or Chance?
Cruz was so gracious. You and Chance at some point left. Cruz like, you can do it. He was so encouraging. And I was like, I can't. And he was like, well, probably not, but let's try again.
He's honest, yes. But I think like that little hill by my house is a perfect one. I'm going to get it to where you can do it. Anybody can do that hill. But I'm excited. And you know what? If you need to take another lesson, you can.
I don't think I need another lesson. I think I need to practice on not your hill, and I need to work up to your hill.
Oh, you want to go to the bottom?
Yeah. I know the hill I need to work on.
Can you get off a lift?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a pro. It's graceful. It's elegant.
Really?
It is the most majestic thing you've ever seen me get off a lift.
See, I also don't know if I would want to go up a lift with you and get off because I'm afraid you would hang on to me and drag me with you.
No, I am first off. I'm like, bye! Because I don't want to keep going around or get hit in the face.
So you don't fall. Like that's
No.
I think that's the scariest part whenever you first start is
brave.
getting off the lift.
I'm very brave.
But so you're brave about getting off the lift, which can be very scary because,
I think it's one of the truly, if you have a small child and you don't take them skiing, you're doing them a disservice. The whole time I was skiing last time, I was just mad at my parents.
No,
I was like,
same.
why didn't I do this when I was 2? Because there were these little 2-year-olds on a care in the world, just like elbows down, knees locked in, just flying. And I was like, how are you going to stop? And sure enough, they just like turned to the side and they stopped. And I was like, I'm gonna run you over.
No, Trey, if it makes you feel better, you were learning younger than I did. So the first time I skied, I had 2 kids because Chance, I took like 1 lesson. So Chance, about 30, I took 1 lesson and I was like, this is not for me. This is way too hard. And Travis is such a good skier. He's been skiing since he was 3 that he's not fun to ski with. Like it's like chasing your husband. Like literally he like leaves my ass, goes as fast as he can. And then I'm skiing and like pure panic trying to find him. And then he'll stop kind of right before you turn off on the next turn. And then I find him and I'm puffing and puffing. And then as soon as he sees me, he zooms off again. Like we do not ski together. Pretty much I'm chasing him. But so I stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be that drunk at the bottom of the mountain at the bar with a hot toddy.
Yes.
That was my vision. And then I had Cruz. And then Cruz got about 2. So that would make, I was probably 33. And Travis was like, listen, I love you. And I know you did not grow up skiing, and I did, but he said, but I'm going to take my kids skiing at least once a year, every year. And either you join us and we do this as a family, or, you will
get left behind.
Yeah, you'll be left behind at the bottom of the hill drinking your hot toddy. And we do things as a family. So then I was like, okay, you know what? I do not want to miss out on that experience with my kids. So I took a 5-day lesson. And this is what I tell everybody. I took 5. It was a group lesson. It was in Aspen. I would not recommend learning to ski in Aspen. Not because Aspen's not great, because it's so expensive, right? Mm-hmm. So even group lessons are so expensive. But I would recommend for yourself or anybody with kids, 5 days, I think is the magical number, right? So because about day 3, you finally start to get it. Day 4, you get it. And day 5, I feel like there's enough muscle memory where you can go back the next year and pick up where you left off. If not, you're never getting it because you're getting like 1 to 2 day lessons in. And then you're kind of sort of connecting. But every time you go in, it's like you're having to start from scratch. So that's my thing with you, Trey. I mean, now that we have a ski house together,
I know. I'm
really
going to get it eventually. And I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, I want my kids to learn how to do this. So I want to know how to do this because Zach's good at it. And I don't want it to just be like a Zach sport.
Yes, you have to do it as a family. And whenever you have kids, now you're going to do, because I felt the same way. I was like mad at my mom and dad. I'm like, why did you never why didn't you take us skiing as a kid, or at least put Tiffany and I in like, a little lesson or something. Like I did not, but also people in Oklahoma, like we did not really grow up skiing.
Skiing's not a huge thing there.
It's not, but everybody in Texas goes skiing, and everybody it's so funny. But it's an expensive sport, so I get why you don't. Like I don't think that was really in our budget growing up.
Well, I'm going to get it eventually. I'm just going to keep going down until
But I think that you need another like lesson.
I don't think I do. I think I just need to I know what to do. I just need to feel comfortable doing it enough to where I then go down your green black.
Okay. Well,
which I'm going to get on this next trip.
If you don't, you need to get a few more lessons. But yeah, I agree. And then now like with kids, start them at 3 because they get it so easily. Go for 5 days, spend the money, start them at 3, and then they will forever be fine. Also, skiing's the best thing with kids because you know how you like want to go on a trip with your spouse but you also like it's kind of like a built-in babysitter. You put them in ski school. It's like half a day. They're with all these other kids their age. They like when they're really like 3, they only ski for a small amount of time, but the other time they're on the mountain building snowmen, having hot chocolate, like having the best time. Daycare. And it's like a really fun like daycare camp experience where they learn to ski, and you and your husband can like, spend quality time together and actually have like a really nice trip. And then at the end of the day, they're so tired that they sleep. It's a
full body sport.
Yeah, it really is. It's perfect.
It's a lot.
Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Holman on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast. And you can watch us on YouTube at We Could Dose of BS. Bye.